If you're a project control apprentice, you've probably heard of the K7 standard. And let's be honest, it can feel like a pretty huge hurdle, right? All this talk of project plans and reporting frameworks. Well, today we're going to demystify the whole thing. We'll do it by following the story of an apprentice who's probably a lot like you and see exactly how she went from feeling totally overwhelmed to being completely in control. Let's dive in. Sound familiar? This is exactly how our apprentice Jody feels. It's so easy to get buried in the jargon and just feel lost. This is her starting point, and her struggle is going to be our roadmap today. She's got her endpoint assessment, or EPA, looming, and right now, K7 feels pretty much impossible. So let's properly meet Jody. She is a bright level 6 apprentice working at a company called Ibis Stores. But her entire qualification, everything she's worked for, really hinges on her getting this K7 standard down. So we're going to follow her, step by step, to see how she goes from confused to confident. Jody's first move is a smart one. She realizes she has to stop seeing K7 as just another box to take for her portfolio. To really get it, she needs to understand the why behind it all. And what do you do when you need to understand the why? You ask for help. So Jody sits down with her mentor, Adam, and he gives her this incredible analogy that just changes everything. He says, Jody, forget the paperwork for a second. Think about driving a car. K7 is really just about two things: knowing how to read the car's manual and knowing how to read the dashboard. And that simple idea, it's the key that's going to unlock this whole thing. All right, so let's start right where Adam told Jody to start, with the car's manual. In the world of project controls, this is what we call your project control plan. Okay, so here's the official definition, and I want you to focus on one word: how. A project control plan isn't a history report about what already happened. Nope. It's the rule book. It's the guide that lays out how you're going to manage and control the project right from the get-go. And this is Adam's point, perfectly illustrated. The plan is that manual you're supposed to read before you even start the engine. It tells you what every button does, what every warning light means. If you don't read it, you're basically just driving blind, guessing what everything does. So what's in a good manual? Well, it's got to be detailed. Your project control plan defines the game plan for everything: your schedule, your budget, your risks. It clearly states who owns what data, what to do when things go wrong, your escalation routes, and how all of this fits in with the company's bigger rules. It's your single source of truth. Okay, makes sense. The plan is the manual. So, what's the dashboard? This is the second piece of the K7 puzzle, the reporting framework. Let's see how this builds on the plan we just talked about. So, the reporting framework is all about one thing: communication. It's the agreed-upon design for taking all that messy, complicated project data and turning it into something clean, clear, and useful, something that your stakeholders can actually use to make smart decisions. Exactly. It is your car's dashboard. Think about it. The dashboard doesn't show you every single moving part in the engine, right? Of course not. It shows you the critical stuff: your speed, your fuel, maybe a warning light if the engine's too hot. It organizes the vital signs of your project so you can see in a single glance if you're on track or if you need to pull over. This is the key takeaway: understanding how these two things work together. The manual, your plan, defines the rules of the road. It's the how and why. But the dashboard, your framework, gives you the real-time info for your trip. It's the what and when. You absolutely 100% need both to stay in control of your project. Okay, so Jody is having a major light bulb moment. She gets the concepts, but for her level 6 apprenticeship, just understanding it isn't enough. She has to prove she understands it. And this is where her coach, Olivia, steps in to show her how to build rock-solid evidence. So Olivia maps it out for her. Learning K7 is a journey, and it has 4 clear stages. You start with the basics, the definitions. That's what Jody did with Adam. Then you start applying it, linking real data to reports. After that, you level up to analyzing that data, spotting trends. And finally, you integrate it all so you can walk into a big meeting and talk about it with total confidence. It's like climbing a ladder of understanding. The million-dollar question for every single apprentice out there. It's not just about doing the work, is it? It's about creating the right kind of evidence for your portfolio. In her case, for the Apprenticeship system that tracks her progress. So, what does good evidence for K7 actually look like? Olivia lays it out perfectly for Jody here. Look, strong evidence isn't just one thing. It's a mix. You need some written work explaining the theory, sure. But then you need to grab a real report from your job at IBIS stores, mark it up, and show that you get what those numbers actually mean. Then you tie it all together with reflective statements and case studies from your actual projects. And when an assessor looks at all that evidence you've gathered, this is their checklist. They're looking to see that you've gone way beyond just being aware of a document. They want to see you using the right language. And here's the big one. They need proof that this Case 7 knowledge actually helped you make a real, professional judgment call at work. All right, with a killer portfolio ready to go, Jody's almost at the finish line. The final boss is the endpoint assessment, and specifically, the professional discussion. So it's time to practice some real-world questions she might face. Here we go. This is a classic EPA question. It's designed to see if you can really connect the dots between the manual and the dashboard. So take a second. How would you answer this? A really strong answer would hit these key points. The plan is the foundation. It literally dictates what data you need to collect. It assigns responsibility for making sure that data is accurate, and it makes sure everyone is working from the same playbook, that single source of truth, so that the reports are actually useful for the project's governance. Let's do one more. This one goes a little deeper. It's not just about the report itself, but the quality of the data inside the report. Where does meaningful data actually come from? And this is how you show you're thinking at a level 6. Meaningful data isn't an accident, it's the result of a process. It's generated by sticking to the plan, it's checked for accuracy, you can trace it all the way back to its source, and you are smart enough to be honest about its limitations or any assumptions you made. That right there is data integrity. And just like that, Jody's journey comes full circle. Remember where she started? With a mountain of confusing paperwork. Now, she's got a crystal clear framework. She has the manual, she has the dashboard, and she has a map for her career. She's not just an apprentice who is aware of Case 7, she's a professional who can apply it with confidence. She's ready. So we followed Jody's story, but we'll leave you with this thought. She figured out her project's manual and dashboard. Now it's your turn. Take a hard look at your own projects and ask yourself, what are my project's vital signs? And how am I going to design my dashboard to keep everything on the road?